Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Technolive. Ooh, that's weird. I did that one with slightly more energy than usual. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you had a lovely week. Have you had a lovely week, Dan?
It's not been too bad. But it has gone a lot colder. For the first time ever, my car told me that there was a risk of ice,
Oh, good grief. Well, you've
and I
not.
didn't even know it did that.
Your car's become self-aware. It wants to go home and wrap itself in a blanket.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're not quite to the point of freezing down here, but it's still weird. It's been the sunniest weather.
Has it? It's
Oh,
been very hit and miss here. Like it has rained intermittently, and then been sunny, and then rained again, and now it is dark.
oh no. We've had cloudy days, but most of it has just been it's been like summer. It's
Oh,
ridiculous. Except imagine summer but cold.
yeah.
Oh, and
British.
also it's now dark outside, which is another thing.
Yes. Um, it is
Hmm.
already dark. It is only it's been dark since about what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to cycle back in the dark, which I'm not looking forward to.
Ugh.
Yeah, I say cycle back because for the first time I'm in the Technicamp studio, which is interesting. Or have I been in the studio
Da-da-da-da-da.
before? I can't remember.
Well, last week you were in your home office,
Oh yeah,
and then
I've got vague. Oh, I did a club in the studio. That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah, because I think you intended one week on being in the office, but then didn't get the chance to get there because you were too because of the It was last week, wasn't it? Because of the thunderstorm.
The
You were going to leave
oh
to
yeah.
do it in the office, but then just as you were about to leave, the thunder started, and you decided, I'm not going to risk that, which is more than fair.
Oh, my memory. Well, the intention was to come into the office slash you. It's the Technicamp's headquarters.
It
But we've
is.
now got a new room where we've got
Oh,
some fancy lights and a big old green screen, and for filming fancy videos.
yes.
I've also, kind of put my desk in there and made it my office.
Yep, good bagseed, I think is the
Yeah,
right
I've
word.
bagged it exactly. Um, but yeah, I've been planning to come in here and do a stream from here for ages because I think it's a perfect setup for it, and there's no neighbours slamming the front door. But every time I've tried to come in, something stopped me. So the first time, it was because the audio wasn't working, and I just couldn't get audio connected. The second
But
time was the thunderstorm, and this time I have actually made it in this time, but it's still not perfect because my really nice fancy microphone, the one that you need to plug into a massive mixing desk, um, I forgot the cable.
yeah, which is a bit of a fundamental problem.
Yeah, so that's why I sound different. I'm on a lower quality microphone. So apologize. I always do that. Apologies everyone if I sound unusual or echoey or oh well. It's what I got to live with.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really tell, mostly because, of course, I'm hearing you through Zoom,
Oh yeah.
which has the ability somehow to make any terrible microphone sound really good.
Well, that's
So,
why we use it.
yeah.
It's really okay. Other
Oh, sorry. Other
what's the
online
word?
communication mediums are available.
Yeah. Do you remember the sorry, I'm going back 10 years to when I back in the day with a Minecraft server.
Hmm.
We used to use Mumble. Do you remember Mumble?
Oh, I never used Mumble. No.
No, well, the other one was TeamSpeak, but I didn't have fast enough computer for TeamSpeak. Oh, that's ages ago. Way before Discord and way before Zoom, Teams,
Teams,
Google
even Skype.
Meet. Oh no, Skype's ancient.
Skype
Skype's a
Skype is ancient.
grandfather.
Skype is ancient and is it on the way out? Is it gone?
No,
Has
I
it all
think I
been
think
morphed?
they're bringing Skype and Microsoft Teams together.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Skype for Business has become Microsoft Teams, hasn't it? So it's all just being morphed into teams now.
I'll be honest though, they're all terrible.
Yes. I
Anyway,
mean,
oh sorry, carry on.
no.
I was going to say we've managed to talk 13 minutes without actually talking about what we're doing. We always end up doing that. Yeah. So, topic for today, as the title says, we're back into Scratch, which is something that I'm not very good at and not very familiar at. But we're doing our own Google Translate. So yeah,
Which is exciting.
if you want
No,
to,
I'm
oh sorry,
no expert at Scratch either. I know the basics, and I know how to do things, but I mean, normally I would have to kind of get some help sometimes if I was doing something quite complicated. But I think even we can figure this thing out, can't we?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a simpler program today. But yeah, if you would like to follow along, I've popped a link in chat. I'm just going to go ahead and go ahead and go ahead.
Go ahead and go ahead and go ahead.
I swear, it's the night time. Because it's so dark outside, it just makes me tired and sleepy and want to go to bed. And I don't even have a cup of tea to wake me up.
There's no kettle in the office anymore?
Or
was there ever?
There is, but it's a bit bit crusty.
A bit crusty. I suppose it was abandoned for a very long period of time.
Oh yes, but now we're coming in and out of office. It's getting there again. But yeah, there's no point in introducing Scratch because it's very well known.
It is.
But yeah, we're gonna make basically we're gonna make our own version of Google Translate. For those who don't know, Google Translate is a thing that translates what you type into other languages.
Or speak now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to come on to, because we're going to get it to speak the language as well. Which, to do it, the fact you can do that in Scratch, that's just amazing, that is.
Well, no, it is.
So yeah, I'm going to make a start by getting the 2 extensions we need, because this isn't part of normal Scratch, it's part of Scratch extensions.
Yeah.
But if you're ever looking for Scratch extensions, they're down in the bottom left.
Well, some of you who are watching will probably already be familiar with some of the Scratch extensions because we had to do it for when we connected a microbit to Scratch a few weeks ago with Luke Clements.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, from our Technocamp.
Our resident Scratch expert.
Our resident Scratcher. Luke helped us do a live stream the other week where we created a game or connected. Well, I guess, yeah, we created a game, I suppose, using a microbit, but in Scratch. And we linked it all together using the microbits extension, which you'll probably see on Jack's screen now.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to pop back and see that one, you just go down to the Technocamp's YouTube channel, browse old videos, or search it. But yeah, we're going to need 2 extensions today. We're going to use the Translate extension, which is provided by Google. We're also going to use the Text-to-Speech extension, which is provided by Amazon. So basically, we're putting up 2 massive companies against each other.
We are.
No, well, I mean, technically, we're making them work together.
They're cooperating.
Yeah.
An anomaly.
What was it? Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say Amazon's been in the news recently for having a fight with someone, but I thought it was Google, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
They pick fights with everyone. But yeah, just to go over what I've did, I went to the new extensions button and I clicked translate, and then I did the same for text-to-speech. And now I've got them at the bottom of my list of blocks. We got translate something to Portuguese, and we got speak. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. We're gonna start by just getting the bit of Scratch that will let us type something in, and then we'll look at translating it later. And of course, the things that actually do the code are the sprites. So we're going to
Uh-huh.
need a sprite for our Scratch translate. And now, in my prototype, I did it with Scratch Cat, and
Scratch Cat.
I could carry on doing it with Scratch Cat, but let's go and delete Scratch Cat. Let's make a
Scratch
new
Cat.
sprite.
I mean, what are you going to use instead, though, Jack? Because just thinking, if we wanted to, not that we will, because this is Technolive, but being mindful of the element of realism, are we going to have people, or are we going to have like talking dinosaurs, or you're going to make something? Okay, I've just seen that it's
Yeah.
caught up. You're going to make
Also, I was
something.
going to be slightly boring and do Scratch translate as a word, but make it a parody, a copy of the Google logo.
Ah, I see. Okay.
However, I forget that the Scratch sprite editor is really hard to use. At least in my opinion.
I can see that you're having a lot of fun with trying to format the text.
Well, I wish
Oh,
the Scratch editor will either let you change the size of text. See, how do I do this? I just want.
I mean, that's a massive.
I know, but that's the thing with Scratch. There's no guide to tell you how big you're doing something.
No.
See, for me, I thought, oh, that's quite small, but no. I need pixels.
Yeah, or at the very least, font size.
Yeah, or a tool that lets you align the things you've drawn. Unless that's no. Would that be what's this? Front? Oh, that's layers.
Oh, there's only one layer.
Yeah. Like because I want to do the letters different colours.
What's that? What's that little number 0 sort of cheekily hiding out next to the outline that we haven't looked at yet? What does that do? Do you see it?
I think that's the width of the outline.
Ah, okay, so it's not.
I don't think it's the font size, unfortunately. We'll see. What happens if I select font? Yeah, no, I can't select it because it's the size of the outline.
Oh, okay.
I've also forgotten all the colours that are in Google. Yellow? Yeah.
There's yellow. And that's it then, isn't it? Isn't it blue, red, green, and yellow? Those are the 3 colors, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a really awful yellow. But it'll do. I mean, of course, we're doing a stream on this. We're not taking ages.
No.
You can take ages at home, make it nice and, actually good, unlike what we're doing.
Well, the red and the green, at least, are festive colors, which is kind of appropriate for the time of year.
Oh, you're a what's it called?
I'm not an early Christmas.
You're not a Christmas in September one.
No, I am not. No, definitely not. But I like Christmas. I do like mince pies. But I am a decorations in December kind of guy, which I know that lots of people would disagree with me on that. Some people prefer them sooner.
Well, to be honest, I think if decorations make you happy, then it's fine to have them up anytime.
You know what? That's a nice way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a nice way of thinking about it. If the decorations are making you happy, put them up.
Yeah, I just get a little bit annoyed when I'm trying to do my shopping in, I don't know, July.
You're getting the crimbo
I'm getting
songs.
Christmas carols on.
Yeah. I know. But okay. So that there's a opinion here that doesn't make me sound like I'm a bar humbug. I agree with you on the Christmas decorations. If the Christmas decorations make you happy, then you put them up whenever you like. I do draw the line at the Christmas music. I feel like that needs to be. I feel like the Christmas music really should be something that comes in December. But, everybody has their opinion.
Yeah. Sorry, I've gone a
No.
bit obsessed with
Getting the layout. No, that's fine.
That's the trouble. I always get distracted with these kind of things, thinking how beautiful can I make it? And I'm not too unhappy with what I've got. It kind of looks a little bit googly. But yeah. So I've just made a sprite, and you can make it whatever you want. But this sprite is obviously going to ask a question whether or not, what do you want to translate? Because that's how you do input in Scratch. Or at least one way of doing input. It's getting the sprite to ask a question.
Ask the question, absolutely.
And we do that in the looks, I believe? No, in the sensing.
Sensing, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, silly me. We forgot the most important one. We forgot when the green flag is clicked.
Ah, yeah, that's a bit more. That one's slightly fundamental, I think.
Yeah.
When the green flag is clicked.
Yeah, but when the green flag is clicked, we're going to get the Scratch translate thing to ask the question, what do you want to translate? And yeah, if I click play, and I'm going to rearrange that so it looks kind of neat. There we are. Well, this interface I've got over on the right, I think that looks quite official, almost.
It does.
Kind of.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the Scratch logo. Oh yeah, no, lower down. That looks good. Yeah. I like how you've done that.
Yeah, it does look like you're kind of in a program to do some translating. But yeah, all we're asking is what do we want to translate, and we need to do something with the answer. So just for now, let's get the answer outputted. Let's go to looks, and we'll get Scratch Translate to say the answer. We don't want them to say hello, we want them to say the answer. So we need to go into sensing again to find the answer, which comes after it asks, what do you want to translate? So yeah, what do you want to translate? Say the answer.
There we go.
Now, what do I want to translate? I want to translate the word, I don't know, festive.
Hedgehog. Oh, okay, festive.
Festive hedgehog. Why not?
Festive hedgehog.
Festive hedgehog. And I click go or press enter. And the trouble is, it's not triggering any translation at the moment. It's just saying festive hedgehog. Which is not the most useful. We need to do something to the answer. We need to translate it. Now, just to start us off, we're going to do it a simple way. But later on, we'll be doing is we'll be storing that translation somewhere else so we can do further work on it. But for now, I'm just going to go to the Translate tab. And I'm going to pick the Translate Hello to some language block. It's around sausage type. And that's what I'm going to get the sprite to say. And the thing that we want to translate is the answer.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can translate it into all sorts of languages. We can translate it into, I don't know, Indonesian, Korean, Persian, Turkish, Welsh,
Many languages.
Yeah, we can even translate it into languages with different characters, like Mandarin. Or does it do Japanese? Yeah, it does Japanese.
Should do.
All sorts.
Zulu.
Yeah. Do you have any preferences for our first one to try?
I would like to go with French.
Okay, nice, simple.
Yeah, I
One to
feel like
start
that's a
off with?
nice place to start.
Sorry, I didn't just mean to call the whole language of French simple.
Because
It's a very tricky
it's
language.
a very tricky language.
But I mean, it's one that we're more likely to recognise what we're trying to translate.
Yes. Well, really, we should have gone with Welsh, but we've committed to French now.
Oh yeah, and we will be testing others. Yeah, so we all know that bonjour is French for hello. So if I type in
Really?
hello, it should return bonjour.
Because that
And it does.
answer block is a variable, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah.
Which is storing what we're asking Scratch Translate to translate into the computer's memory, and then is using it in that translate to, in this case, French block. So it's, oh, I've just seen it working. It looks pretty good.
Bonjour, je parle français.
It is keeping bonjour there for a very long time.
Oh, because I've told it
not
to
actually got it to, yeah.
Because I told it to say rather than say ... for 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I keep it there permanently because that's the end of our program. We don't want to lose what's been written.
I remember my French teacher in school getting very angry at anybody who called it Frankais.
But and rightfully so.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what you said about the answer being a variable and taking what you've written and translating it, that's the interesting bit, because what's happening with this green translate blob is it's sending the answer to Google. It's actually sending it to Google's servers. And this is a big thing in internet technology at the moment. Something called APIs.
Yes.
Application something or other interfaces.
Isn't it application
Programmable?
programming space?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
But basically, things like Google, big companies will offer one of these APIs for anybody to use and sort of interface with that big company. So if I really wanted to, I could get the YouTube API and write a program that posts YouTube videos.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's sometimes how you get bots.
Yes.
Horrible bots that go around either spreading misinformation or, some people pay to get bots to like their YouTube or social media accounts.
Yes.
To give them, fake views.
Yes.
And technically we are kind of using a bot, but it's just for translation, so it's fine. Yeah. Let's try good old Welsh, and we'll go for good evening, which if this works, and because this is Google Translate, and Google Translate's not perfect.
No, it does get things wrong.
Yeah, but if it gets it right, it should be Noswaith dda.
Yeah.
Good evening. Let's see if that works. Did I click go? Yeah, Noswaith dda.
There you go.
So yeah, we're on to a winner there.
Do you know what's quite funny though? Noswaith is obviously one word, but if you were to split it up into Norse and Waith, it would be night's work. So literal translation in a way is night work good?
Oh, that's fantastic. I never knew that.
Uh-huh. Waith is the mutation of Gwaith, which is
of
work.
Course, yeah. And
then Norse is night. So night work good?
Yeah. I think that's yeah, I think that's something to what's the word? Oh, brain's gone. I'm too busy thinking about the next bit,
Uh-huh.
which is the actual speaking bit.
Yes.
We'll see if it's able to say it properly.
Mhm.
So the speaking bit, which is in the text-to-speech menu on the left, we have to do a bit of setup first.
Oh, okay.
So before we can start saying anything, we have to change the voice and we have to change the language of the voice. So let's start
yeah.
by changing the language. I'm going to put this at the top of my code because that's what we want to happen first.
Yes. Now, what text-to-speech is it using, though, did we say? Because I'm only wondering, because Google translates text-to-speech is, with certain languages, very canned, isn't it?
Yes.
And robotic, because it's just trying to pronounce the words as it sees them rather than it actually using a kind of well-trained version. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the voices that Scratch uses, I mean, they're decent, but they're low audio quality.
Right.
So the actual text-to-speech bit's all right, but the actual sound is very crackly.
Bit crackly.
And they're using Amazon's service. So whenever we're asking the voice to say something, we're sending something off to Amazon's servers. I think it's known as Ivona text-to-speech.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
At least it's not something like Alexa text-to-speech.
Oh no. Well, I was going to come on to that actually, but we'll get it.
Yes, we'll get it
making noise
functional
first.
first. Yeah.
First thing though is I'm setting the language to Welsh. The interesting thing here is the Google Translate part has lots of different languages. Has Zulu, Ukrainian, Scots Gaelic. It's got Amharic, Azerbaijani, Basque. However, the Amazon the Amazon part doesn't have half of them. Only has some of them. So it doesn't have Scots. It doesn't have Amharic. It doesn't have a lot of them. Luckily, they've both got Welsh, so we're in the business there.
Good.
The next block is the set voice one. We'll need that one in as well. And we got options. We got alto. We got tenor. I'm not very good at my music terms. I can't remember which is lower, alto or tenor.
I was absolutely pants at music at school. Not very good at all.
No. Well, either way, you can change how high pitched it is by switching between alto and tenor. But you've also got squeak,
and squeak.
giant.
Giant and kitten. Wow.
We'll try it with alto first for a sensible one, and then we'll see what the others sound like. And yeah. Oh dear.
Oh. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I just knocked over a bit of equipment. That's all.
Oh, okay. Valuable, precious?
No, it was only a robot. Oh well.
Oh, okay.
That's the danger of working from the office.
Yes.
But yeah, we need to actually say something now. So we're going to use the speak command. We don't want it to speak hello. We want it to speak the... Well, here's the thing. If we speak the answer is still in English.
It is. So we want it to speak the
We want
output
it to
of the
speak...
translation.
Yeah, we want it to speak the translation of the answer. Now, I could do that by just using the translate block again. But the trouble is, that means that it has to send all that information off to Google all over again.
Not very efficient.
It's not very efficient. It could actually be quite slow. So what's better is if we send off the translation once, we keep hold of the translation that comes back, then we do stuff with it. And of course, we're going to be saving stuff, so we need a variable. So I'm going to go over to the variables tab, and I'm going to make a variable. Any suggestions for a name?
Because
this is the...
Yeah.
I could call it translation, but then the problem is I'm using the word translation so much that
so
I'm
many
going to get
times.
confused.
Yeah. Hmm.
Let's call. Oh, hang on. Let's be silly and call it Google's Gubbins.
There we go.
Because it's Gubbins given to us from Google.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what we want to do after we've finished asking the question is we want to set this variable that stores what comes from Google. We don't want to set it to 0, of course. We want to set it to the answer to the question. But again, that's not helping us at all.
No, I'm trying to think of the. Could we not? The problem is, of course, is that if we didn't want Google to, or if we didn't want Scratch Translate to say what we wanted, we would only have to send it to translate once, because we could get it to speak translate, and then that would be sort of fine. But because we needed to say and speak, is there a way around that?
Yep.
I'm thinking of it.
If we don't store the answer, but instead we store the translation of the answer.
Ah.
And now, when we do the say and the speak, instead of getting them to translate, we just get them to say Google's Gubbins and speak Google's Gubbins.
Oh, I see.
So if I go to the variables and I get Google's Gubbins, pop them in like that. So we do our setup, then we ask what they want to translate, then we put the translation in a variable, then we do stuff with the variable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very nice way of doing anything computer science. You calculate something, put it in a variable, then do work on it.
Yes.
Because otherwise, what you're having to do is you're having to calculate every single time. Which, of course, takes time and
It does. Yeah.
costs energy. Anyway, shall we give this a go?
Yes. I'm going to once. I would like to hear it try and speak.
Oh, I'm going to hope my audio set up correctly. Unlike the bagpipes last time where it just didn't work. Okay, so let's do good evening again. See how good it is at pronouncing Noswaithar, which I am not good at.
No, that was pretty good.
Okay. Good evening.
Noswaithar.
Oh, I heard it come through your audio.
Oh, that might have been a bit loud.
No, it. Whoa, okay, hang on.
Okay. I'm going to have to turn it down when it plays. But yeah.
No, it's okay on the stream. As long as no one has their as long as no one has their volume set too high, it should be okay.
Yeah. But did you hear that text-to-speech? It didn't sound too bad, except for the quality.
Good. Yeah.
So it sounded quite human, but with a terrible microphone. Rather than sounding like a robot with a good microphone. So yeah. Anything else I should translate to Welsh? I should mention, by the way, that this is Google Translate, so if it pops up with something rude in a language you understand, not our fault, it's Google's fault.
Yeah. You could translate the word, oh, I know. How about you translate the word pig, which is obviously mochyn into Welsh, but I'm only thinking about it, and please, other sweet brands are available. I have been thinking about how much I like Percy Pigs.
Percy Pigs.
Have you heard of Percy Pigs, Jack? The sweets from M&S or the food chains are available.
Oh no.
Okay.
Are they the gummy sweets that look like a pig?
They are, and I really like them, and so I've recently even purchased a soft toy. But that's neither here nor there. Other brands are available. Don't get me wrong, but it's just made me think of the word pig.
Apparently, gummy in English.
Gummy
It's
so he
gummy in
doesn't look
Welsh is
like a
gummy.
pig. Melissa, gummy sy'n edrych fel mochyn.
Oh, do you
I know what you're
remember?
thinking. I know what you're thinking of. I know what you're thinking of.
Oh, okay, so anyone who's into Minecraft, we did a stream a while back called the Castle of Logic, and we made we had this big, massive Minecraft world with lots of puzzles in. One of the puzzles was to translate ancient Welsh. Now, what it did, and we don't know why, because it was Minecraft made by Microsoft, it used Microsoft Bing to do the translation. And for some reason, it mistook Morwen,
It did.
which I believe is maiden.
Yes.
It thought it was moron, being carrot.
Yes.
So, never never say carrots are beautiful. Because that's what the passage came out like. A chap was calling a carrot beautiful.
It was very funny. We did find that very amusing, didn't we?
moron and brydferth.
Sorry?
We found it very amusing when it did that.
It's one of our highest viewed things just because one of the Welsh speakers in Technocamps keeps sharing it with all his Welsh speaking friends. And that carrot was so beautiful. So beautiful. He called it Blodeuwedd.
Ac roedd y foronen honno mor brydferth, fe'i galwodd yn blodeuwedd.
Oh, good times. Yeah, I want to take a little diversion, actually, because we've got really good text-to-speech languages now.
Mm.
Like, when you talk to Alexa or Siri or whatever's Google's called, or, here's one, Bixby. Do you remember Bixby?
Bixby.
Is Bixby still around?
Bixby. What was the platform?
Samsung.
Samsung.
So Samsung decided
yes.
they weren't going to use, even though they make Android stuff, they weren't going to use Google's. They were going to use their own.
Yeah.
And everyone hated it. Oh,
I don't think I ever used it.
Cortana.
Ugh.
Cortana's gone the same way. No one uses Cortana anymore.
No one uses Cortana. She's just there trying to tell us about what to do with our day and our meeting planning.
Yeah, they've I think they've taken Cortana out of Windows 11.
They've taken Cortana even. Like Cortana used to at the university. I used to get weekly or daily sometimes Cortana emails telling me, you have this schedule for today. How about you make some free time in this slot? And then now they've said Cortana no longer exists and it's Microsoft Viva.
Wait, what? I've never heard of that before.
Well, they haven't said that Cortana no longer exists per se. That was wrong. But they have basically said that we're no longer going to be, you won't be contacted from Cortana. You're going to be contacted from Microsoft Viva, I think it's called. Which is a new, hang on, Microsoft Viva.
Whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to ask it how to say hot chocolate in German.
Oh, just so that you know, Jack, it has the most corporate sounding thing. It's employee experience and engagement.
Ugh. But no, my experience of Cortana was when back in Windows 10, they tried to force you to use Cortana to set up your computer when you're installing Windows. It's like, if you don't want to use your keyboard, just talk to Cortana. Cortana will help you set up your Windows.
Eine heiße Schokolade, bitte.
Interesting. Now, I've just spotted a problem with Google Translate. So, I think in German, or at least in Austria, hot chocolate is Trinkschokolade.
Right.
Which means chocolate drink.
A chocolate drink.
Whereas when I typed in hot chocolate into Google Translate, it thought I meant hot chocolate. As
Oh,
in chocolate, a normal bar of chocolate that's hot,
that's hot.
rather than the drink.
Interesting.
So I wonder what happens if I put in chocolate drink.
Schokoladengetränk.
Oh, interesting.
What did it say?
Schokoladengetränk.
No.
Oh, hang on. Schokoladengetränk. Drink.
Okay.
I'm sure it was. Hang on.
Oh, I've just seen the word, and it's just you feel like there should be spaces in there somewhere, but there just isn't.
Welcome to German. I'm gonna try something silly. I'm gonna try going the other way around. I'm gonna set the output language to English and translate to English, and I'm gonna give it German to translate. So, eine Schokolade, bitte.
Okay.
I'm just hoping I've typed that correctly.
1 hot chocolate, please.
There we are. Also, interesting, the text-to-speech voice it uses is very American.
It is actually, isn't it? Well, it's
Hmm.
Amazon.
Oh yeah, true. Let's try it with the tenor though. Again, we'll go English to English. This is an example of me speaking English.
This is an example of me speaking English.
Okay, well I misspelled speaking, but yeah, again the tenor is also very American. Now let's see if the squeak is American.
Oh, it is very American.
Oh, I've just clicked go again.
I am making a squeak sound.
Okay, so the squeak is just the alto, but very high pitched.
Okay, hang on, I'm just about to hear it.
This is the giant.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and the same with the giant. It's just the tenor, but very low. What's kitten then?
Then
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh,
oh my god.
that's not what I was expecting.
Hang on, I'm just about to. Hang on.
Hang on, I need to do something. I need to do.
Oh, it is literally. It's just meowing.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna do. I just realised the time now. Don't have time to go through that. Anyway, oh, interesting side note. This is just quick before I go on to the next bit. So as I was saying, these text-to-speech languages haven't been all that good until now.
Mm,
We got distracted by Bixby. That's why.
that was it.
But yeah, text-to-speech, they've been trying it for absolutely years. And they even had it in 1930s sometime. Because
Oh, boy.
we've done stuff about text-to-speech before on this channel. Do you remember we
Yes,
did
hang
one
on.
about the Voda?
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, and the Voda is one of the oldest. But very soon after that, in the 1940s or 50s, IBM created a computer that was doing it all electronically rather than the Voda, which needed a person to do it by hand.
Mm.
And that computer, the IBM 704,
Hmm.
I may get my computer names wrong, but that was very famous for singing Daisy Daisy.
Okay.
And oh no, I just realised I've walked myself into a trap of having to sing on stream.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
going to do it. But it's Daisy Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm Half Crazy, All for the Love of You. It's a proper song.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the room listening to this computer doing the singing was an author called Arthur C. Clarke,
Hmm.
who wrote a book, 2001: A Space Odyssey. And in that book, and the movie made from the book, the evil computer, Hal, when he gets shut down, starts singing that.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
So yeah, a little bit of pop culture for you. But yeah, then after that one, people tried putting text-to-speech in games and so on. So you get lots of those. One of the most notable ones, however, was a chap called Dennis Klatt.
Hmm.
He created the voice that Stephen Hawking used.
Oh, interesting.
And if you can actually get really, really rare Windows computer with Stephen Hawking's voice in it.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's called the Deck Card or something, or the Deck Talk.
Hmm.
And they're really hard to get a hold of, and I've been looking because it's a bit of computer history, and that's what I love. But yeah, you can actually own Stephen Hawking's voice, which feels very weird.
I tell you where I've noticed quite amusing text to speech. I'm not going to say it's a problem, but it just always amuses me. Is traveling along the North Wales Coast Railway line on any train, there is let's just say that for some reason, a lot of the sentences that the automated tannoys use are very canned in the sense of that they will say sort of like the next train to arrive on, say, I don't know, platform 2 will be and then insert time, which is said in a completely different tone to the rest of the sentence, and then insert rail provider, which is again said in a completely different tone to the rest of the sentence, and then traveling to insert destination, which is said in a completely different tone to the rest of the sentence. And the funny thing as well is that even on the train, they haven't got, so there are certain places that they haven't translated into Welsh. So if you travel on certain trains, which in North Wales, which have got automated announcements, they haven't actually translated the destinations stations into Welsh. So when they do a Welsh announcement on the automated tannoy, they'll have this completely seamless Welsh translation of the regular announcement, bar for the station names, where just randomly they will have things like By Colwyn for Colwyn Bay. So they'll say By Colwyn, Rhyl for Rhyl. And then for Prestatyn, instead of just pronouncing it in like a Welsh accent, it just throws in the English word. So instead of it going Prestatyn in like a very Welshy kind of tone, it will say Prestatyn in a very, and it kind of completely disrupts the flow of the sentence. Now, obviously, it works completely fine because it's very similar in pronunciation between Welsh and English. It's the actual flow of the sentence is completely disrupted by this very English pronunciation of what is very clearly a very Welsh word.
Well, we can actually try that out. So I whilst you were talking, I was just making some options so we can switch the language without having to go into the code.
Which looks very good. No, I went off on a bit of a tangent on that one.
Well,
it's something
it's
that
interesting, actually.
It amuses me every time I step foot on a train in North Wales because it tickles me and that they do it every single time.
Well, you're right to mention that because we can get very interesting effects if we change the translation language to, let's go, so we'll translate to German. No, let's do it Prestatyn-wise. Let's translate to Welsh, but we'll set the speaking language to English.
Yes.
To see what it makes. So, can you think of a oh, this is a tricky one. Can you think of a complex sentence in English that'll translate to something really complex in Welsh that we can see what sounds like in English?
Ah, okay. What can we say?
Ooh. Oh no, brain's gone again. I once stirred my tea with a pair of scissors because the tea spoon was a dog.
Interesting.
Because why not?
Fawn I joy finege the pharocestron unwaith o her oid bad while we the inky.
Okay, hang on.
Welsh in an American accent's not good.
Here it comes.
Not good at all.
Here it comes.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Oh, that is very bad. That translation is fine, but the actual
the actual speaking of it.
speaking was terrible.
I've just had a nasty thought. What happens if we translate it into a language that uses different characters, and then try and get the English voice to speak those characters?
Oh, that might be good. This will be fun.
Yeah. So this is a test to see if the English voice can read Chinese characters. Oh, it can't. It just gives up.
It gives up.
Completely.
Wow.
That's surprising. I gotta try it with Japanese though, because Japanese has I think there's a version of Japanese that's kind of it's the translation of the Japanese symbols into European symbols. I think it's katakana, something like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let's see if that works. This is a test of the Japanese characters.
Ko rewani hon go no moji no tesu to desu.
Ah, it does work.
Okay.
But that's the English voice. Let's hear it in the proper... This is what it should sound like.
これは、それが、どのように聞こえるべきかです。
And now
How
let's
simple is
hear... Let's hear Japanese spoken with a Welsh accent.
Oh, wonderful.
What does Japanese sound like in Welsh?
Gofynod.
Oh, it's very short for some reason.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Did it just give up? Yeah, I think it just gave up.
Did it just die?
Yeah. Anyway, we got 6 minutes left. We got very distracted today. Lots of talk today. I want to finish off one thing. I want to get it so I can click these sprites at the top, and it automatically switches the language. So a nice way to do that is with variables. We're going to make a variable, and that variable is going to be the language with the lowercase l. And we're going to start by setting language to... Well, we'll start with English as a default.
Hmm.
But what we'll do with that is then every time we are setting a language going on later on, we'll be using the language variable.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to set the output language to language. We're going to set the translation language to language. Okay. Now, what it should be is if we type the right word in here,
Yeah.
these blocks, the set language block and the translate block, should be able to understand it. But that will only work if it's a language that they understand.
Yeah.
And only if it's spelt exactly the same. So capital E for English and so on.
Yeah.
And what we can do is if we go to each of these sprites, so I'm now in the English sprite, we could have it so that if in events we go, when this sprite clicked, we set the language to English. And we'll do the same for Welsh. So, when this sprite is clicked, set the language variable to Welsh. Then Spanish, we have it, so events, when this sprite is clicked, set the language to Spanish. And the same applies for the rest, but, you know, it's the same code. You can work that out for yourself. We also need it so it keeps on asking us. It doesn't just stop. We don't have to click play constantly. So, if we go control, we can pop in a
Forever loop?
yeah, forever loop. I'm just thinking where's best to put it. Yeah, that'll do. And to make that work properly, what we will have to do is we'll have to replace this say with a say for 2 seconds.
Hmm.
And we'll make
Otherwise,
it...
it's just going to say it forever.
Yeah, we'll make it 20 seconds. So it'll keep on asking us what we want to translate every time. And there are better ways of doing this, but nothing I can wrap up in 3 minutes. So, Japanese, Spanish... Oh, no. Spanish, Welsh, and English. Which should I click? Let's try Spanish today. And we'll find out how to say... Oh! One of the best words in Spanish is carrot.
Oh.
Because carrot in Spanish is zanahoria.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense.
With carrots is making a frequent reappearance in Technolive.
Yep. Actually, quick change. I'm going to get it to do the speaking first, then the saying. Because otherwise it'll say for 20 seconds, then it'll speak. Whereas we want it to speak first, then say.
Mm-hmm.
So go for Spanish mode, and we'll say carrot again.
Zanahoria.
Hang on, that sounded like it was the American. That shouldn't be it. That's Spanish.
Carrot.
Oh, what? Oh yeah, I didn't click it. Oh, it's all gone to pot.
Did you click it before the green flag was...
Maybe, yeah. What's going on?
Carrot.
Why is it not translating? Am I not clicking Spanish enough? Go on, Spanish.
Zanahoria.
There we are. That finally worked. Don't know what was up there. Also, I don't know why. Let's try that again. It seemed to default to the American voice.
Oh, interesting. Is it...
Zanahoria.
It's almost as if it's setting the language to English when you're clicking the green flag, but then not identifying that you're...
I'm definitely clicking the Spanish sprite.
Yeah.
Zanahoria.
Yeah, that is definitely the American speaking. Oh. Well, let's dump the forever loop because it wasn't working. And I'll have to look into that. see what was going on there.
Zanahoria.
Yeah. But to finish us off tonight, mis habilidades de hablar español han perdidos. Oh, se han perdidos.
Mis habilidades de hablar el español se han perdidos.
I meant to translate that. But basically all I was saying, Dan, was my skill at speaking Spanish has been lost.
Oh, I see.
Completely. I never kept it up. Anyway, that was something. We got a little bit distracted this week. I bet you it's because of the dark skies outside.
Oh, absolutely.
Not because we're losing our touch or professionalism or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
Anyway, it's a great thing, fun thing to play around with. One thing that I didn't cover today, which would be a cool thing to try out at home, is see if you can make a little play in Scratch, a little animation with people speaking different languages.
Yes, because there are plenty of people sprites available.
Plenty of people sprites, plenty of languages to have a play with. And yeah, one thing I like about this translate is it will do so many, including Gaelic and Basque. And if you ever want to see a weird language, Basque is a weird one to look at. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. That's it from us. I never got round to saying the thing I wanted to. I wanted to mention how good languages have got. They weren't always good. We used to have terrible ones with glitches in. So
Yes.
when I was growing up, we had Microsoft Sam.
Oh.
Microsoft Sam had a glitch. If you typed in the letters SOI, it wouldn't say, what would you expect that to sound like?
SOI, I would say soy.
Yeah, you'd expect that. No, there was a glitch with Microsoft Sam where it said swarf. And I got an example, and you can test the example on the Wikipedia article for Microsoft Text-to-Speech. And let me turn this down because it is a bit shocking. But here's Microsoft Sam playing us out.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog 1,234,567,890 times. Swarf.
Schwarf. Oh, it makes me laugh every time. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it from us.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Cheerio.
Take care.